So one of the most common questions that I get when I am first meeting with a client is, what entity should I be? My lawyer sent me in here and said, you've got to work this out for me. Great. I love talking to people at the beginning of the process instead of having to clean up something at the end of the process. Makes it twice as expensive. If you can get in the beginning, please do. My favorite entity depends. It depends on a facts and circumstances based series of questions that I ask all the clients. And it's really not a one-size-fits-all answer just for you, or just in general. It's specific to you. If you run a dispensary, my suggestion is that you use a C corporation because the tax rate is lower. There's protection from a liability standpoint if you run the C corporation correctly. From the 280E burden, because the corporation is being required and asked to pay those taxes themselves. And yet, running a C corporation requires that you behave differently in response to your business than you might normally as a small business owner. You are not allowed to just take money out all of the time. You can't co-mingle funds. You have to be diligent about how you run your business. So if you're a person that feels, oh my gosh, I'd love the liability, but I don't want to follow the rules, then we as a practitioner and as a client need to come to a different decision for you. In general, I'd like to see a dispensary in a C corporation. But I have had partnerships, I have had S corporations, I've even had a Schedule C. I've moved a lot of those to different structures as those clients have been able to understand the benefit of doing a little more of the work, of behaving differently. But ultimately, it's up to you. If you're in a manufacturing position or you're a farm, I think that you have a little bit more flexibility because your cost of goods sold is higher, maybe your tax burden is going to be a little lower. But in general, I want people to be corporations because I want them to be able to run wages, be good corporate citizens, be able to see a distinction between their personal world and their business world, and then act accordingly in different ways. If everyone was a C corporation, sure, it might be a little bit easier on us as accountants in one way or the other. But just like every person is a little bit different, every person's relationship to the cannabis industry and the kind of entity they feel comfortable in might be as well.